morning everybody, welcome to another video. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning now and I'm out for a couple of hours, got a couple of hours to spare again. Back down the Avon, it's looking absolutely cracking. If you saw the last video, we had a wonderful session and that's kind of prompted me to do what I'm doing today. I'm going to do a similar tactic. I've got my Dower Tournament Pro, going to do some trotting. I've got my Drake Alloy Stem stick float on there. I'll stick all the details of all this gear down in the description so you can have a look at your leisure. But yeah, it was so good last time out, and if you've not seen the last video, I'll stick a link up there so you can go and have a look. It was that good, I thought, let's go and explore a different stretch we've not fished before. So I've come to a stretch, it's on a new ticket I've just picked up. A ticket that runs calendar year rather than season. So, new season on here, or new year on here. And yeah, I've come for a bit of a wander. There's one other angler on the stretch, an old chap. Just had a quick chat to him and he's trotting maggots. And he said he'd had one bite and it was a 4-pound old chub. So that's a good sign as well. But I've never set eyes on the place before. So if I can catch 1 or 2 fish, I'll be very happy, to be honest. But yeah, it's just the sort of conditions where it's good to go exploring. I know I often say these are not the conditions to exploring. These certainly are. So I think we'll have a go in here. I've walked up the stretch, I worked my way back down. That chap's about halfway down the stretch, so obviously we'll give him a wide berth, but I think I worked my way back down the stretch for a couple of hours. See if we can pick a few fish up, that's the plan. Got my ever faithful bucket of mashed bread there, bread for the hook, simple as that. Right, without further ado, we'll get cracking. So I've just been getting a bit of this mashed bread in, whilst we're getting set up. The river's fairly wide here, it does narrow down, we're just below a weir, I think I mentioned that. And it does sort of slowly narrow down, but no swims that look absolutely perfect for trotting, but there's a few nice looking ones. As I say, I've had a walk up the stretch, it does look nice. It's very tricky when you've got nothing to go on though. I mean, I suppose I could have asked that chap who's fishing for some pointers, but I don't know, it feels a bit cheeky really. Bit of a compromise today, certainly in this swim. I'm trying to have the bread mash fairly runny so it breaks up in the water. I don't want it going down in big lumps. But in this swim certainly we've got to throw it a bit further than I'd like. Pretty looking forward to this. It's nice to do a bit of exploring. It's just proper cold again. Car was showing 1 degree on the way here. There's ice all over the ground. The ground is frozen. Unfortunately, the sun is trying to break its way out, which is not ideal. But you know, when the river's in good nick, that's the time to have an explore, as I said. We've certainly got it in good condition at the moment. I've no idea how deep it is. I know the Avon reasonably well, so I'm guessing it's probably 4 or 5 foot. That could be a long way off the mark. Only one way to find out. Got quite a reasonably long run through here. The swim just below that sort of snag you can see in the water there, which we could go and try in a minute. But we'll give them all perhaps 10 minutes. See if we can drop on some fish. Right, awkward in here. We've got a tree above us. We'll see if we drag under. Just like the look of those trees over there. Looked quite a nice spot for a bite or two. We could perhaps winkle a chub out of those snags. As I say, I'll be happy with a couple of fish today, really. Not knowing the place at all. He will give us, say, 5 or 10 minutes and then we'll have a move down where the river narrows. But once again, saying lots of my videos, but we started upstream, so we're baiting down. Mashed bread just hangs in the water column, so it'll be washing a long way down. Getting a bit of baiting up for us. There's an awkward cast in here as well. This treat. Right, that's dragging under now. So we found the depth. Yeah, it's not too deep at all, as expected. It's about 5 foot-ish. Which is perfect. Perfect bit of trotting. Very nice to come along this stretch actually, with some bread in the summer, floating bread crust, and just chuck a few bits out and follow it on down. Great way to find the fish. That's just gone under. Just a very slow pull under. That's definitely the bottom. So we found our depth. Would imagine it's much of a muchness all the way through. As I say, today I'm really, in my head, I'm fishing for a bite or two. Having no knowledge of this stretch at all, we've got to be realistic. Only got a couple of 3 hours mid-morning. Probably push it to 3. I think that's the bottom. No, it's a fish. Oh, wow, look at that. Well, it didn't feel huge, but that's annoying. Well, I found some fish anyway, to start. But that's rather annoying. I just went under very slowly, like it caught the bottom. I'm frustrated. Oh, well, hopefully that hasn't killed the swim. Think positive. We'll be good. We'll be good. Keep your rod out the tree. Well, that's cracking. First swim, and in the first sort of 5 minutes, we've had a bite. Not so good losing it now, obviously. Alright. Again, I think that was the bottom, but I thought that in the last bite and it wasn't. But even in the first 5 minutes of trotting, you start to get a little picture of where the float's likely to go under, be it the bottom or a fish. Maybe an old dying weed bed in there or something. It's just sticking up perhaps 6 inches off the bottom. Well, I think we may have upset him in here. I'll give it 5 and then I'm going to go for a bit of a wander, I think. Looks to be quite nice just beyond that snag you can see down there in the water. It's be a nice bit of cover on the far bank. You can always come back here, perhaps in half an hour or an hour, let it settle down a bit. It's been primed with a bit of feed. I'm sure some of it will have got to the bottom. Well, that went under again then. A bit of bite. Not sure, didn't connect. Seemed quite rapid, wasn't a sort of slow drag under. Properly disappeared. God, Getting bites just frequently enough to keep me interested in here. Alright. That looked like a bite as well. I wonder if this is, could be roach or something. The float just dipped a little bit. And maybe the bottom, of course. And again. There we go. That's a fish. God, slowly dragged under. I really thought it was the bottom. Just dragged under very, very slowly. Left it for a few seconds before it struck. Doesn't feel a bad fish. We'll land this one. God, blimey. God, what a scrap. Ooh, hello. He's trying to get over there. Come on. There you go. There we go. Turned in from that bank, so now he's trying to get under our own bank, and he's probably going to make it. Come on. Can't put too much pressure on. I've only got 2.5 pound bottom on. Ah, he turned him. That's good. Wow, he's no monster at all. What a scrap. Yeah, about the size of the one we bumped off earlier, I think. Looking at him. £1.5, £2. I would think. Something like that. Oh, my net's all inside out. There we go. There we go. Well, that's a great start. There we are. Probably £1.5, £2, as I say. It's wonderful. It's a great start. Fantastic. Very funny little bite again. Really thought it was the bottom. The float just sort of stopped, popped under, came back up, popped, just very slowly dragged under. What a scrap of a fairly modest fish. Blimey. I think perhaps we'll give it another 10 minutes in here. Clearly there's some fish in here. But again, clearly not lots, because we've had 2 bites in perhaps 10 or 15 minutes. So it's obviously not stacked out as fish. It's not the biggest fish in the world either. So yeah, we'll give it perhaps another 10 minutes and then perhaps go for a bit of a wander, try a different spot. Can always come back. Right, nothing doing there. We'll get this fella back and we'll get moved, I think. Do want to have a proper explore. You know, if we get on a big shoulder chub, then obviously we'll stick around, but a couple of bites in, perhaps 20 minutes in there, so a modest sized fish only as well, so we'll get him back. We can always come back, like I say. Back you go, fella. Want to stay with me? Go on, off you go. So, next up, nice run here. So, much narrower the river here, as you can probably see. Nice crease on that other side from a promontory that's sticking out a bit further upstream. This looks nice. It's a bit awkward to fish and to film, to be honest. Apologies for that. I think you can see what's going on, hopefully. Let's give it 10 or 15 minutes in here. It's, as I say, it's nice and narrow, so it shouldn't take too much sussing out whether there's some fish here or not. It's just nice. It looks very much like that in front of me is a bit of an island. There's a bit of a back channel around the back there, which there's no access to, certainly from here. But it looks the sort of place that's fairly static until the river comes up and it acts as a bit of a run around. A bit more pace on the water here because it's narrower. It's probably a bit deeper as well, I would think. I can actually get the rod tip behind the float as well and hold it back a little bit. Just some lovely eddies coming off that far side. I can run that down the main bit of water. That's cracking. Reasonable run down as well, perhaps 30 metres, something like that. Certainly far enough. Another 6 inches on. In fact, let's put a foot on. 9 inches to a foot. Right, now we're dragging under. Okay. So once again, we know how deep it is. That's lovely, that is. That bit of flake's just dragging bottom. Alright, there we go. God, float went under, popped back up again, then went under again. Again, it doesn't feel huge, but it's not small. Not a chublet, that's for sure. That's great stuff. Thoroughly enjoying this. Glad I came. God, it's trying to make it to that far side. Need a bit of line, but I'm not in the float yet, and he's really desperately trying to get over that other side. Come on. God, where is he? Not even in the float. There it is. Yeah, he's right by those tree roots. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm gonna have to give him a bit. Turn him. Desperately trying to get in that tree. Slightly bigger fish. Unscrew my landing net. Handle, that is. God, the current in here. Come on, chap. God, the flow. Crazy. Oh, that's a nice fish. Cool. That's a nice one. I'll give him a second. Give us a nice scrap. Well, we'll hold him up over the net. Yeah, cracking. Certainly a good 3, that one. Wonderful stuff. Probably 3.5, getting towards 4 maybe. Certainly not a 4, but he's getting up that way perhaps. Wonderful. Once again, we're getting down there. Got this lovely deep landing net. So the fish can rest up and have plenty of room. God, that's fantastic. I'm happy already. We've only been at it perhaps half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. Got a push. But it's perfect really. Like I say, you know, having fished the other day, or yesterday in fact, and did I have 10? And lost 2, so 12 bites, 12 fish on. You know they're having it, and that's really the time to go exploring. So that's exactly why I came today. To stretch, as I say, I've never been here before. I was going to say I haven't clapped eyes on it, but I have on Google Maps. But that's about it. Didn't realise it was that big at first. Again, funny little bite. The float sort of dragged under, popped back up, went about another 2 or 3 foot downstream, and then just sank away like it was on the bottom. Might be worth persevering here for a few minutes. There's fish like that around. Bedded all my line in. I'm actually doing a bit of trotting with some maggots as well at some point. But mashed bread's just so effective. I mean, for me, it's got a lot of benefits over maggots. Firstly, you don't get troubled in inverted commas by smaller fish. Bread keeps for ages, you can put it in the freezer, keep it forever. Whereas maggots obviously need to be relatively fresh. And it's cheap. Well, it's part of maggots, £3 odd. One of these loaves of Neville's bread that I'm using as bread mash is 40p. Well, it's nothing. You can buy 8 loaves for the cost of a pot of maggots. You buy a loaf of decent stuff to put on the hook. By decent, I mean, it needs to be relatively doughy, stodgy, so it'll mould on the hook. The trouble with that Neville stuff from Tesco is it's very powdery. It doesn't stay on the hook. This fella's happy enough sulking down there in the net. But I think we'll call it a day there. Again, got the option to come back. I think we'll get this fella back and then I'll move. Right, let's get this fella back. Off you go, chap. Right, gonna have a move. So I've had a bit of a walk downstream and I've sort of found nothing really, except when you get towards the cars, and that's nearly the end of the stretch. So I've had a walk back upstream and I'm a bit above where we started now. I thought perhaps I'd have a go in here. If you look to work my way downstream, the chap who's already here, he's had a couple now, he's in sort of pretty much the best looking trotting swim, certainly the one with the nicest run, not necessarily the one with the most fish, the one that is the nicest to trot, if you like. But this looks okay in here. We're about 60, 70 metres from the weir. You'll probably hear it in the background. Weir runoffs are usually pretty good. Well, perhaps I will go for a bit in here, see what happens. Not going to give it too long, to be honest with this weather as it is. It's not ideal at all. Not sure what we're going to do in this blazing sun though. Not much hope of it going in either, by the looks of it. A lot more open here as well. It may not be the best bet. We'll see. No, that's it. I'm going to call it a day at that. It's been very enjoyable. A couple of hours. I could perhaps have another hour down here, but to be honest with you, the conditions have done for us today, unfortunately. There's 2 fish earlier on, within the first sort of half an hour, perhaps 40 minutes of starting. But then it's been pretty hard going since that. Not had a bite. The other chap on the stretch hasn't had another fish either. He's had a couple. But yeah, I think it's this. Well, you can see the sun. that's the problem. And this water is clearing as well. I mean, I reckon yesterday there was about 2 foot of visibility. We're only a few miles downstream from there, and there's 3 foot of visibility here. If it was a bit more coloured, it might counteract this a bit. But I think they've got their guard up a little bit, the fish. And of course, it's still very cold, although that doesn't really bother the chub, but, scraping the car this morning, doing the school run. But yeah, I said at the beginning, I'd be happy to cut the fish. I've had to cut the fish, so I am very happy. And a nice explorer this stretch. There is that one lovely looking swim that chap's in. There's a couple of 3 more nice swims, but certainly not a stretch. I don't think I'd be in a massive rush to get back here, but I will come back here because it does look nice. I think perhaps with a bit more water on it'd be good, a bit better and a bit more coloured. I think you'd probably do well here. It's nice, featureful, and with this nice little sort of channel through here, with that back channel taking some of the water as well. It's nice, almost more of almost appears to be a smaller river than it is along here. It's a nice little stretch. So yeah, we'll perhaps be back. Now, when will I be out again? Not sure, is the honest answer. Probably early next week. Busy weekend in store. So for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that bit of an explore. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support, and I'll see you all again very soon.